One thing about me, I'm terrible at fighters. I admire them a lot, but I am terrible. The hardest thing about Unicorn Overlords for me personally wasn't actually the combat. It wasn't actually putting together squads to dominate the battlefield. It wasn't choosing what equipment to equip to each individual class and specific character. But it was actually deciding whether or not I wanted to skip battles. That sounds weird, right? In this majestic looking game, there's an option to skip the battles. And I just read a comment on my last video from one of the brethrens that says that he skipped the combat sequences. And I was actually in awe at that comment because I struggled. Like, I really struggled to even fast forward what was going on the screen because I love looking at it. Like, I love looking at how the combat looks in this game. So I had to like really think about what is causing this. What is the effect? What did they do here to draw me in? It's almost like hypnosis. And I think I came across a couple of things. So unlike the beautiful world map I discussed in my previous video, when combat starts in this game, the camera zooms in and shows you everything in full scale, similar to what's behind me. This art resonates with me a lot. Art that's different from my art, that's distinctly different from my art, is art that I appreciate. Because I can still tell the level of passion that goes into the work, even though it is not a style that I employ. When the camera zooms in from the world map with all of the little miniature characters, we get to see our characters full scale. And that makes a huge difference because in my mind, I want to see how different the full scale model or rendering of our character is versus the world map, tiny rendered. And some things are a bit weird, like Elaine's hair is a different color and so forth and so forth. But for the most part, when they blow up that tiny little model or figure, it looks marvelous. And because they look so marvelous, it looks incredibly seeing those characters fight each other on this 2D battlefield. It's truly gorgeous. So the thing that really gets me about Unicorn Overlord's combat is the fact that even though it's 2D and hand-drawn, it actually feels very impactful. And it feels more impactful than a lot of 3D games, in fact. I believe that this is because of the art direction and the amazing sound design. Combat feels damn near tangible. A lot of games try to fail to make hits feel heavy and impactful. This one nails it. You feel every sword swing, every arrow shot, every hammer dropped. The animations land with believability and weight. It is so important. That's what I wrote when I was having trouble skipping the combats. And one of the things that I really admire about the graphics in this game, about the artwork in this game, is the fact that even though you have 5 versus 5 in a lot of combat scenarios, with all the effects and all of the moving around and all of the craziness, you can still see what's going on clearly. So in this game, you are watching your directive being played out on the battlefield. So you're not like actively controlling the character. And I know a lot of people are gonna get turned off by that nemesis. But even though you're not controlling the character one-to-one, you're still invested because you want to see if your strategy is going to play out accordingly. So despite all of the flashiness, you're still able to tell who's attacking, what they're doing, and exactly what it's doing to the opposition, the ops. One of the things that's actually really ironic about this combat is the fact that it's essentially flipped from what I'm used to. So here in the West, we read from left to right. But in the East, Japan, where this game was made, they read from right to left. So the fact that the combat still is clear and very legible to the point where you can literally read exactly what's going on, even though it's from a reflected perspective, I think that is amazing. Absolutely fantastic. This woman is Hilda. Hilda shocked me. One time, Hilda put me in a trance because I was fascinated by looking at her just ride her dragon in the air, just looking at the animation. Like, I literally took photos of all the frames I could possibly capture while those wings were moving up and down. And I was literally blown away because you can see each and every hand-drawn frame that was used to create this illusion. And that's mind-blowing to me. Even though there might be some 3D thing going on, because the shadows, some of the shadows look kind of 3D, but I still think this has to be hand-drawn. If it's not, we're doomed. We're doomed. Honestly, I feel like this is probably now my favorite looking tactical RPG. No shade to Final Fantasy Tactics, Fire Emblem, no shade to Tactic Oregon, all those other games. No shade, but this is definitely my favorite because of the combat. And there are a couple more reasons. Apart from the art direction acting as a wonderful lens for readability and clarity in its combat, this also translates to not only the figures, but the entire environments that these guys are fighting in. So as I mentioned earlier, I suck ass at fighting games, and that's okay. We're not good at everything. We're only good at some things. No one's perfect. Don't fire me in the comments. I mean it. In fighting games, readability is everything because you have to know what the opponent is trying to do to you, and you have to make sure what you're trying to do to the opponent actually lands. And the fact that you have to make split-second decisions in every round of a good fighting game means that legibility and readability is bar none. It is top tier. It is peak. So that same philosophy is here, even though, again, we're not controlling the characters one-to-one or actively controlling them. It is still very important to know what's going on at all times. Like, I've lost battles because of some nonsense, because the matchup wasn't matching. And I was embarrassed for myself. So if the combat was obscured by visual foolishness, then I probably wouldn't like the game as much. So this is why I think it's super important, especially here. So something that I really dig in fighting games is actually the background. A lot of fighting games have these really cool 2D backgrounds where it's still very distinctive between the character and the background, right? So in Unicorn Overlord, the same applies. The craziest part about it is these guys are very good at creating a distinctive foreground, middle ground, and background. Artistically, that is very important because, again, that adds to the readability of what's going on. So I really admire it here. That use of the foreground, which is typically a table or a railing or some shrubbery or box or something, it's not just there just to be there. It's literally there to trick your mind into thinking that there's depth within the image that you're looking at. It's the same thing for the background. If you notice the background, if you look at most backgrounds, especially backgrounds that are outside, things that are farther away tend to be lighter in contrast. And that is because the artist is creating visual atmosphere, depth, and that's why I find it very fascinating here, because most scenes, most backgrounds nail this. And on top of that, there are these nice little subtle animations that are playing out while the chaos of battle is ringing. One of the aspects that I think that's making the combat so heavy and so believable is actually the animation. I kind of hinted at that with Hilda. So the animations almost look look a bit more fluent than what you would see in like stop motion. And I am totally enamored by seeing everything frame by frame. In fact, I wish there was a mode where you can like slow everything down instead of fast forwarding everything just to see the frames in the combat. One of the aspects that I really like is the flow of fabric. Fabric just looks so beautiful and delicate as it's like fluttering on things. It's amazing. And the crazy part is on the YouTube compression, you're probably not seeing it in its fullness because it hits different. Trust me, it hits different in like full 4K or whatever on pro systems or PC. It hits. It's not on the PC. On Switch 2. This game has a lot of classes, and each class has a distinctive set of animations, whether they're winning or losing, whether they're getting slapped or hitting. They have a distinct set of animations that actually go with the class that the game is trying to convey. So whether it's a caster, a sniper, an infantryman, a fighter, a soldier, it doesn't matter the class. The animation is going to illustrate what I think that character would do in that situation. And I just love it. I absolutely love it. And apart from the animations, the character designs in this thing, when I say that this is passion, I mean it. Literally, metal looks like metal. 2D hand-drawn metal looks metallic. And it's not even trying to be shiny. They could have easily put like some kind of texture on there to make it glisten. But these guys said, no, we're gonna use actual colors. And the colors, that's a whole nother hour of talking, because the color theory in this thing is crazy as well. I just love all of the intricate details that went into each and every character, class, model, or what have you. No matter the class, if it's an armor-plated soldier, you can see where the armor connects, layering of the armor. There's fabric next to metal. You can see little chain from each chainmail link in a chain link skirt. The mages look incredible. One of the things that I really like about looking at some of these guys is the big tome that they have attached to their waist. The way their gowns flow, it just does such an amazing job. One of the coolest parts about these character designs is they go even further. You're able to promote characters. I felt so good promoting each and every one of them. Everybody, all the heroes, all my heroes who are storyline characters got promoted. Each and every one of them, because I just loved seeing the difference between the classes. So about these character designs, this is a game that's from Vanillaware. The last game that Vanillaware dropped, I believe, was Aegisrim 13 Sentinels, or the voluptuous Dragon's Crown. So I would like to make a notation of comparing this game to Dragon's Crown. Dragon's Crown was very voluptuous, a lot of bouncy bits, and that has been dramatically toned down in Unicorn Overlord. Now there's still some jiggle physics, but it's not as crazy as that game. And I can appreciate that, because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't take what was going on in Dragon's Crown too seriously, because everything was just blown out to the max. That didn't sound right. If this is the only video you watch of mine, just take one thing from all of this. Play this game. It's on PlayStation Plus, I believe. Play the game. If it's not for you, just look at the art. Just look at the art. That's all I'm saying. Play the first hour and just look at what these people crafted. Look at what passion looks like, because it's a similar thing that I do on a daily basis. So I respect passion. Unicorn Overlord is passion. So if you would like to see more of my work, you can head over to my website, jahbu.com. I have a small selection of paintings over there, and I would really like to know what you think. If you're on Instagram, you can follow me at jahbu_art. That's where I post all my art goings-ons. So until next time, my incredible people, try Unicorn Overlord. Become the Lord. Oh, don't say that. Whoops, almost fell on my chair. Don't say that. Let's see. Become chivalry. Yeah, that's not good either. I don't know what's going on in this video, man. I don't know. It's just I don't even know how to end this, cause I'm just thinking about going back in here and just adjusting my squad again. Well, anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. One love. Peace. Come then.